welcome back to GWN. I'm Noctair, your host. Today we are talking about the friendly giant, specifically the boxer giant combos that we have here at Builder Hall 8. For starters, we're going to look at one that seems to be burning up the circuit, boxer giants and cannon carts. I've just been calling this one GiCarts. So pretty straight up, pretty simple routine here. I like to use 3 camps of boxer giants, 3 camps of cannon carts. A little more advanced version of this, at least I think it's a little more advanced, is to use 4 camps of boxer giants and 2 camps of cannon carts. And our first replay, Mango from Oz Builders, does it that way. Either one of them will work. Pick the one that you're most comfortable with. You can go 3 and 3, 4 and 2. You can even go 2 and 4 if you want to. It just really comes down to what the layout of the base is and what you're most comfortable with. On these long bases like this one, the square bases, really, friends don't let friends use square bases, guys, okay? But if you've got one of these bases, you're going to come in from a longer distance away from the builder hall. Something like a 4 and 2 works really, really well. And the reason for that is that those giants, they form this line of beatery. I mean, they just beat everything down as they're going. And the cannon carts coming in from behind are able to help the giants by taking things down a little more quickly, especially things like those crushers and some of the splash damage. By the time you get to the end of the base and you're hitting on the builder hall, there ain't a whole lot left. So this is the strength of the 4 and 2. Most of the other replays you'll see are 3 and 3. It's balanced and works well against, I think, the diamond bases, which, if memory serves, most if not all these other ones are in fact diamond bases. We'll just have to watch. But either way, 4 and 2, 3 and 3, I think that they both will work pretty well for you. In all of our cannon cart combos, there's one thing that should be abundantly clear. Cannon carts are great in large groups, but they absolutely, positively must have a tank to keep the defensive fire away from them. That's why these routines work as well as they do, because the giant's tank can take on all that defensive fire, while the cannon carts can use their ranged ability to just shoot things outside of the pocket. Now, the biggest problem that you're going to find here for the boxer giants is the same thing that you see in just about any one of our ground attacks, whether it's a giant base, barbarian base, or whatever. And that's going to be, how do you get the crushers and how do you keep them alive against splash damage from things like the roaster and the multi-mortar? I think, and really this applies to both the boxer giants as well as the cannon carts. 2 big things you need to do here. Number 1 is spread them out. In all these replays, you'll notice that each of the attackers spreads their boxer giants across the base. And if it's at all possible, you want to come in at more than 1 ingress point. In some cases, the base may be closed and you got to pound your way through a wall. That's fine. This works just fine on really level 7 and even level 8 walls. The boxer giant, he was buffed not too long ago, and he's pretty beefy. He does a pretty good job of breaking through those walls. It might take a couple extra hits, but he does the job just fine. I guess we'll call it the big brother of this attack, the Jibok, which has 1 line of bombers as well, will alleviate that. But a lot of us have found, and I'm guessing that you're going to think the same too when you actually use this, you don't need to sacrifice a whole camp to bombers just to be able to take out that outer wall. The giants do just fine. Likewise, on a lot of these Rage Barbarian attacks, the Rage Barbarian does it just fine. If you're able to send them in and get multiple points of ingress, whether it is through openings in the wall or openings that you create, you're going to find that your attack goes much more smoothly. The reason for that is if everybody goes in at the same point, they tend to bunch up. If everything bunches up, then they tend to fall to, you know it, splash damage. And I think that that's probably the number 1 rule. Spread them out and prevent them from bunching up. And that's whether it's the boxer giants or the cannon carts, because if they bunch up, they're going to go down a lot more quickly. Rule number 2, don't send everything in at once. I know this looks like it could be a spam attack because a lot of players put their troops down very quickly. But just because somebody lays down the troops fast doesn't make it a spam attack. A lot of these attacks that look like that, looks like they're easy and you're just being spammed. Well, the reality is it's not being spammed, but it's a player who knows what he's doing. And he knows how to attack on multiple fronts at the same time. Case in point, this particular replay that we're looking at right now. Blaze came in with three different points, 4 points of ingress when you count the one over on the lower left as well. All of these different places he comes in at pretty much at the same time because he knows what he's doing. He's able to line everything up and get him to go in very quickly. So he does spread them out, and although he's dropping everything very quickly, he's not sending everything in at once when you really think about it. It's that spread that is key here. It counteracts the spammy aspect and makes it a more coordinated attack, I think is the right word to call it. Your Boxer Giants are providing tanking services to the cannon carts, which are going to come in from behind to take out whatever's in front of the Boxer Giants. It's Kismet. It's a match made in heaven here, folks. Now, we run into the same issue here with cannon carts as we do with any other cannon cart attack, and that would be the evil that is the giant cannon. I can hardly begin to count the number of times one of my cannon cart attacks has just gone awry courtesy of that everlasting cannonball. I absolutely, positively hate it with a passion. If you can, again, this has to do with how you send them in and how you spread them out. If you can keep your cannon carts from getting too close in line between the giants and the giant cannon, you're again going to see longer living cannon carts. If they bunch up and they're right behind the giant when he gets hit by the giant cannon, guess what? They're all going to go down, especially if it's a level 8 giant cannon. And that will end your attack very quickly. So, again, try to spread them out. Try to not send everything all at once so that you don't get that clumping effect. Now, if I haven't said the word enough, I'll say it one more time. And that is timing, timing, and timing. That's right. I said it 3 times. It's all about the timing. You want to make sure that your troops go in and spread and hit all of the right defenses, keep them off base so that the attack will work out well. Now, I've been doing mostly P.E.K.K.A. card attacks, but I decided to give this one a spin on my latest run of attacks, and here's my replay. It's yet another box base, the kind that I typically take out with P.E.K.K.A. carts pretty easily. I don't know why this base is so popular, but I usually get a high 2-star or a 3-star on almost every time I go up against it. And that's even if it's relatively well maxed. So, I don't know. Go figure. Like I said, friends don't let friends run box bases, right, guys? But, as you can see, I ran this with the same basic rule set I've been talking about, spreading everything out, getting everything down quickly, but not so fast that it's a spam. And by the time it got up to the end, all that was left was a few buildings that just needed to be taken down. Where do you start your deployment? I like to start from closest to the builder hall. Not always possible, especially if there's multiple aprons across the top that block it. So you might come in on the side, you might come up from the bottom. We got 5 solid replays here, and you can see the deployments differ across the board. It's nice to see each of the different attacking styles, and I think that you'll find that your attacking style is a primary factor in this composition as well. So that's our first look at Giants and Carts, Giant Cart strategy. Comments, questions down below. Pound the like, subscribe if you're new, and I will be back more with Boxer Giant action here over the next few days. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end, and I will catch y'all later. Keep on clashing. Bye-bye.